Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn daily energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not, as that may be meant for someone else. All right, so we're going to get our chakra energies here, and we're going to see what you may need to look at, what may be blocked. We're going to get some tarot. We're going to look at what you may possibly be struggling with, what you may need to look at, and possible future energies that may be coming in for you. If you are interested in any of the cards that I am using, please feel free to check out the links down below by hitting the Show More button below the video. And these are the John Holland Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle cards, which he also includes the chakra cards in his decks. All right, so let's see what we got going on for today for Capricorn. All right. Feeling like this one. We have third eye chakra, and that represents your intuition and your intuitive inner guidance, so that may be blocked. What's going on with Capricorn? What are they what are they struggling with? Who needs to hear a message? What's going on with Capricorn? Okay. Struggling with not letting what other people have to say affect you. What do they need to look at? What do they need to look at? Two things. You need to look at Ace of Cups, and you need to look at Knight of Wands. About taking actions with this relationship. Future energies to come in for Capricorn. Feel two again. We have Temperance, which is Sagittarius, and we have Nine of Wands. Compromising, hanging in there, not being frustrated, waiting for the results to happen. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Swords. I love this Knight of Swords because he firmly has his hand on this sword, and then we have the eagle right there, which represents success, and he has a very determined look on his face. And I feel like it's making some changes. I feel like things are coming in for you, because I feel like the way that that eagle is kind of heading right towards here, that I feel like the eagle is heading right towards you. So there is success and there is positive energy that is coming towards you. All right, so for the chakra, we have the third eye, which is listening to that inner voice. And sometimes that inner guidance, sometimes we ignore that. Sometimes we see the red flags, but we make excuses for people's bad behavior. We ignore things. And I feel like that's something that may be blocked for you. What you may possibly be struggling with is we have this card, which is the Five of Swords, which is not letting what other people have to say affect you. But I also feel like it's time to get down to business. I feel like you know that there's something that you have to deal with. You know that there's something that has to be dealt with, that you can't. You know that this people's other energy is bothering you. You've kind of been putting it to the side. You haven't been dealing with it. You haven't been facing it. What you need to look at is we have the Ace of Cups and the Knight of Wands. I feel like it's taking those actions. Again, we have this knight here where he is firmly holding on to the wand, which represents actions. And this knight is firmly holding on to the swords, which is that analyzing and looking at things. So this relationship is something that you need to look at, that you have to, also your emotions and your feelings, again, being in touch with your third eye chakra, as what are those things that you need to do, right, that your inner self is telling you. I feel like with this future energy is it's not getting frustrated waiting for results, and having that patience and knowing that this process is going to take some time. All right, Gertrude agrees. All right. So for, let's see, can you see that? Yeah. The Star card. Struggling with hope, struggling with staying positive. Also struggling with that you're not facing things, that you're not getting things done because it's something that negative, something, it's a tough thing that you have to deal with and that you have just been putting it on the back burner. That you have trouble with looking, you know, focusing on the good because I almost feel like you're so absorbed with what's going on here. And I feel like this other energy that is affecting you is very negative. I feel that I kind of feel like it's a person, and it's almost like sometimes we are like a deer in the headlights and we feel like we're trapped in this person's energy and we're trapped in this situation that we feel like we can't get out. And I feel like you're just struggling with wanting to deal with this, and you're almost like you're losing hope. It's almost we get stuck in this negative energy and it seems harder for us to pull out. All right. For what you need to look at is the relationship. Making a decision, right? Which way are you going to go? Are you going to stay in this energy? Are you going to stay, you know, stuck in this? But I feel like you're not, because I feel like you're becoming more aware of it. I feel like you're, you know, coming into that energy. Okay, I have to make a choice here. I have to make a decision. Again, 9 of Wands, feeling tired. You're feeling exhausted. Maybe you've tried other things. You've tried to do other things. You've tried to reach out, you've tried to find solutions, but it just hasn't been happening, and you're exhausted and you're tired. But you have to realize that you have the power to make the changes. You have the power within yourself, okay? That sometimes you have to step up to the plate and you have to make the changes. Future energies, we have communication. Future energies that you decide that you want to communicate. However that communication is, sometimes I find that sometimes if I write things down on a piece of paper of what it is that I'm feeling, what it is that I want to talk about, what it is that I want to discuss with that person, and sometimes if you give that person that letter, that they can kind of look through it, so that way you're not jumbling your words, that you're getting out everything that you want to say, and then they can take it, and if they need that time to take the paper and to think about what it is that you had to say, that if they need that time, that they can process it, and then you guys can come back together. So I feel like you're, in the future energy, you're waiting for the response from the person. I feel like you've reached out and you are waiting for the response and the communication back from that person. I feel like when you've had this conversation, that you take it into your own hands, you deal with the situation, and then you're waiting for that response, but don't get frustrated with it. I also feel like there's going to have to be some compromise within this situation. And I feel like that's something that the two of you need to talk through and you need to work out. And I feel like this brings change within your relationship. I feel like it does bring positive change within your relationship. Over here, you're feeling stuck. Now, this could just be a friend or a family member that, you know, sometimes we have those friends that are very gossipy, or they like drama, or they're trying to create things, stir things up. Family members, sometimes they do that, but I feel like you're able to work through this resolution with this person. We have the Devil card, and that could represent you, Capricorn. I also feel like it's coming into your own power, coming into your own strength. I also feel that it's getting rid of that toxic energy, getting, you know, again, the Devil card can represent those addictions. So it could be, like I said in the beginning, that I felt that sometimes we feel like we're stuck in a situation and we get into this negative energy, and it seems harder for us to pull ourselves out of this negative energy. It's just like we're sinking lower, 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 lower. And it's like we really have to pull ourselves up in order to get out of this energy. We really have to find those things where we can make those changes so we can remove ourselves from this energy. And that can be really hard to do, definitely. But it's like you have to have that will to fight for it. You have to hang in there. Like you have to have that feeling that, yes, I want change, so I'm going to take it into my own hands, right? I'm going to make those changes. All right, so now let's get some more tarot and see what's going on. We have the Tower. So it's that rebuilding, right? It's that rebuilding, it's realizing, it's dealing with a tough situation, it's tearing down those walls, it's focusing on the positive, it's having that stronger foundation. Again, it's turning your thought process around, it's becoming more in tune with your third eye chakra, where you're listening to yourself, where you're going with your gut. With your when you're moving forward, you're moving away from this energy, you're making the changes that you want to have. That Ten of Pentacles, that you see that in your sights, and you're like, if I want to have the Ten of Pentacles, then I'm the one who has to make those changes. Looking at current energies, sun, positive, happy, good, staying focused, surrounding yourself with that, rising above the situation, surrounding yourself with the people that are supportive, moving away from the people that are not supportive, rising above the situation, knowing within yourself that you will succeed, that you will move on from this, manifesting that positive energy. I know that for me, I kind of had a journal where I would write down 5 things that I wanted to manifest every day. And I would write those things down, and I would put those out in the universe, because it felt good to be able to write things down. Actually taking the actions to do something, I feel, brings it to the next level. It's not only thinking positive thoughts, but for me, I feel like actually writing them down makes me feel better. And like I said in the past, when I would look at myself in the mirror and I would give myself that high five, that doing an action would make me feel better. And I feel like that's what you need to do, is actually take the action. That's exactly what I was just feeling, is this Ace of Wands, is actions, is taking the actions to actually feel better, to not just think it, but also to do it. Communication. Reaching out, extending that olive branch, which I feel that that's what you've done, and then you're waiting for that communication to come in, but don't get frustrated with that. Give that person that space and that time for them to process what you have told them, and for them to process that situation. I feel like emotions become better, they become happier. I feel like there's a stronger connection on an emotional level, and I feel like here we have the star over here where I feel you were struggling with, but the star over here is like, yeah, that's really turned around for you. That's really made a difference for you. You're feeling hopeful, you're feeling positive. And that's what you need to do, is when you're struggling with a situation, is that you don't want to lose that hope. You want to keep that. You want to keep focusing on that, right? That you want to have that back, but you have to take the actions to bring that back, to listen to your inner voice, what's it telling you. Again, we have the Five of Swords, which is over here, which we started with. And I almost feel like here is what you're struggling with, but over here is like you've accomplished it, right? These two people are laying down. He's feeling pretty confident there. He's got all his swords. He's walking away from him. He's ready to deal with a tougher situation, right? He's ready to face it. He's ready to face his challenges. And ready to bring in the star energy, which is Aquarius. So ready to bring in that energy, like you are ready to do it. You have to be ready for this. If you're not ready to make the changes, then it's not going to happen, or you'll start it and then it will stop. So you have to be ready to make the changes. You have to want it. You have to be ready to take the actions. And to, again, as I said before, research those tools that will help you. Is it writing things down? Is it listening to motivational messages? Is it, you know, going on YouTube and see how other people have gone through situations that you have? Is it surrounding yourself with those positive people? You may even have that one person that's really grounded, that will really give you that, you know, maybe that tough love, that will really give you that information. Is it just doing those things where you're getting out of your, you know, in a neutral ground where you can think clearer? Whatever those tools are that you have, that you feel that can help you with these changes, that's what you have to focus on, and that's what you have to look at. And you have to be in that energy to be 100% to make these changes. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. It's going to be kind of partial, and you're going to be going back and forth. All right, so let's get an animal oracle card to close it out. Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. Now is a lucky time. Now is as good a time as any to look into this, to start taking the actions, to start making those changes. You don't want, like I've said before, time goes by so quickly. And you don't want a year to go by and look back and say, you know, I really wish I had done this earlier. If you're not ready for it, that's okay, but you could do the process as starting to get ready for it, as starting to get wrap your mind around it, and starting to get into the energy of those changes, right? And doing those things that will help you. Is it eating better? Is it exercising? Is it doing something that you enjoy and having some time to focus on that? Is it getting rid of triggers within your living space that's triggering you about a situation or making you feel angry, or you're like, you know, that picture or that pillow or that rug just it rubs me the wrong way. I don't know why, but it just does. So let me get rid of that. Let me put that away. And is it just buying a couple new things for your apartment or your home, and just putting some new things out that can make all the changes and all the difference? You'd be surprised. It could be that first thing that you build off of that helps you to move forward and make those changes. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.